I'm going to very quickly show you how to do a neurographic artwork. And then I will show you how to round the edges and so forth. So what I would do first is I would go ahead and start drawing my lines and so forth with a pencil first. So it doesn't really matter how you do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and make some circles. And you can make either geometric shapes or you can make organic shapes. The difference is that with geometric shapes, you would make, for instance, squares, triangles, diamonds, and so forth. Anything that can be measured mathematically are considered geometric. Or you can make some organic shapes. So these that I did here, I just did some geometric circles, and then I will make a few organic too. So just organic shapes. It's up to you how you want to do this, but you can just run them through. It doesn't really matter. And then I would just take some lines and put some lines through there. Let's put a line through here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black marker and I'm going to go over these lines first before I start rounding anything. So just take your black marker, go over the line. And if you mess up, you can always erase those pencil lines later. Now, I did my pencil lines dark here so that you could see what I was doing, but I suggest that you do them light just in case you do need to erase, okay? And then all my lines. Make sure that your lines do run off your paper. Let's see, I kind of messed it up there, but I can go back and erase that because it was done in pencil. And you don't really need to make an awful lot because then you're just doing too much. And then you're going to be rounding out a lot of edges. Okay, so there I have that created. And it's up to you. If you want to draw a picture and then take some lines through it. For instance, let's say I want to draw a flower. And then I just wanted to go ahead and take some lines through it. I can do it that way and then just round it out, okay? So now what you're going to do is once you've got all of the lines traced, then you're going to start rounding the edges. Now, what I would look for, and I'm going to erase this right here so it doesn't become confusing, okay? But what you're looking for is all the white areas need to be rounded. So, for instance, you see this white area inside of here? It's not really rounded because it has a point here and it has a point here. So what you would do is you would just take your marker and you want to round out this point just like that so that the white part has rounded edges and no points. And then just color it in. Now see how this one kind of goes to a point? You want to round that white part. So it's almost like putting round circles or shapes inside. Now, even on right here, you see how this goes to a point? I want to round that out so that that white part has no point. You want to smooth it out so the white parts have no point. Here's another point right here. And then if you stop and you got a jagged edge, you want to smooth that out and take it make it smooth too. There's a little bit of a jagged edge, so smooth it out. So anything that has like a point, see how this goes to a point? Make it round. This goes to a point, see that? Make it round. There's a little point. Oop, I made a jagged edge, so I need to bring that up and smooth it. Here's a little point. Anything that you see pointed on the white, see right there, you see that point right there? You want to round it out so that the white part doesn't have any points on it. And you always want to make it smooth so that you don't have any jagged. See how that's got a little bit of jagged edge right there? You want to smooth that out and get rid of that point and smooth it out. Now, if you need to thicken up your lines so that everything runs smoothly, do that. It doesn't matter how thick those lines are. Just smooth everything out so everything is smooth. Okay, see that point? Get rid of it. Make sure that white, see this white area? See how it has points? Get rid of those points. Just like that. And then smooth it out so that there's no jagged edges. Color that in. So you see how I'm doing this? I'm taking all the points out of the white areas. Just like that. See how this one has all these little points? Okay. So remember, we're looking for the points on the white parts. And anything that has a point, you're rounding it out. Even if it has a little point, round it out. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and continue working on this, and I will come back and show you what I've done. Okay, so I have my edges rounded out, my corners and edges rounded out. Now you can always go back in if you want to and add more. Like for instance, you can just come over and add another couple of lines if you want. But when you do that, just make sure that you go back over it with your black marker and then round it out. So see right there where it's not round? I want to round that out, make it nice and smooth. Remember, we're making the white in the middle rounded. Right here, this has got to be rounded. So you can always add more. Just make sure that you go in and around your edges and corners. So see how this has got a little one right here now? Round that out. And then go back in and smooth it. If you have any jagged edges that you left there, go back in and smooth it. And it doesn't matter how thick you end up making your lines if you need to go back in. Okay? But just so that you make smooth and rounded. Okay? And I even rounded out these towards the edge of my paper. So you'll want to do that too. Make those edges round. Make sure that everything is rounded. And then you can go back and just check. Now this has a little bit of a point right there. I'm going to round that a little bit more. That has a little bit of a point. Check all your white areas. Make sure that you've got no points on there. Oh, here's a little point right here. So go back in and check. Oop, there's a little point right there. No points. We don't want any points Oop, there's a point right there. See? I missed quite a few points here, it seems. Okay. Let's see if I missed any other ones. Round that a little bit more. Okay. Oh, there's a point right there. This was created when I created that new line. Okay. Oop, there's a little point right there. Oop, there's a point right there. That was a big point I missed. Color that in. Okay, I think I have all my points erased or colored in. And I would just go over and smooth everything out. Oop, there's a little point right there. I want to make sure we have no points whatsoever. And then if you got any jagged edges, smooth those out too. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start coloring. And what I will do is I will color with colored pencils, and I'm going to use values. So remember, we kind of talked about values, dark, either way. So you will just start out with pencil pressure. And remember, pencil pressure is how hard you push down. And what I like to do, what I like to do is go in circles when I'm creating my darker values, push down. And then as I go out, I will let up on the pencil pressure until it gets lighter. And lighter. Until you can't hardly see it anymore. There's okay. And then you want to just blend that in to make sure that it transitions smoothly. Okay, see I went dark to light, okay? And then just do this with all of your colors. Now what I would suggest is if you're going to use your colors, you might want to put complementary colors around it. Like for instance, let me see, where's my orange? Here's an orange, this is blue. So I would create an orange kind of around it so that it makes that blue pop out. Remember, I'm going to go dark. And I'm going to get lighter as I go down. Let up on the pencil pressure until you hardly have any color down here. Okay, so you want to make these values dark to light or light to dark, however you want to do it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll finish this up and then I'll come back and show you what I've done, okay? All right, I'm finished with it. Now you'll notice I did do some black, and I would probably go over that again with my black to smooth these lines out, okay? You don't want to use an awful lot of black because you already have the black rounded edges, but I just thought I'd try that and see how it looked, okay? All right, there we go.